So over the last month or so, I've gotten quite a few messages and comments about, sounded really Canadian there, about the durability of the demon skin spikes on the brand new Predator, whether it's the 20 plus or any of the 20.1 variations. And by the way, this is the new Shadow Beast colorway, which I happen to think looks really good. If you're not a fan of the flashiness of the Launch Mutator pack, this is more or less a blackout with some very subtle silver detailing and a very cool wearable finish on the sole plate. However, to answer the question, do the spikes fall off? The answer to that is yes, they can, which I realize sounds bad, but I would not go as far as to say that this is a durability issue. It's kind of just something that you should more or less expect given the way that this football boot has been constructed. And I get it, these are $275 football boots, $225 if you go for any of the 0.1 variations. You don't want them to fall apart over the first couple of wears, but because of the way that these boots have been put together with these demon skin elements individually glued to the upper, it is inevitable that some of them are going to fall off from being scraped against other players' boots. It's just something that you cannot avoid. Now, is this issue something that Adidas would have known about prior to committing to designing the boots like this in the first place? I think the answer to that question has to be yes. They definitely knew that there was potential for some of these spikes to fall off during play from a hard impact from another player's boot, potentially scraping off some of these studs. That is, I think, a risk that they were willing to take based on the fact that in order to achieve this level of grip on the ball without having the added bulk and restrictiveness that typically comes with a large rubber striking element, they had to do it this way. And in fairness to Adidas, this is not the first time we've seen a rubber striking element or some element on the upper of a boot that could be torn off by other players making contact with the boots. I have, as an example, a boot that you guys might remember, the Nike T90 Laser 3. This is specifically the elite version with the carbon fiber sole plate. Very cool boots. I definitely miss these. Large rubber striking element, significantly more bulky than what we had on the Predator or what we have on the current Predators. But you'll notice along the side, you have these little fins that kind of stick up, and they are a little bit less significant than what you'll find on these Preds, but it was very, very common, and I know this because I had several pairs of these growing up, that if you got stepped on in just the right way, some of these rubber fins could get scraped off. Now, of course, the entire element is rubber, so it wouldn't necessarily affect the performance of the boot that much, but it's something that would happen and was kind of a necessary aspect of achieving the feel that Nike really wanted to achieve with this particular design. Regular viewers of this channel know that I am not one to defend the big brands, but in the case of the demon skin spikes on the new Predator, I think what you have to realize with any kind of top-end product that's trying to achieve a very specific thing is there's typically going to be some kind of a trade-off to achieve that level of performance. I'll use speed boots as an example. If you make a boot that is super lightweight, that also means it's going to be a lot thinner, it's going to provide less protection, and it's typically going to be less durable as well. Same thing goes for these. If you want that extra level of grip without adding restrictiveness to the upper, the individual little spikes scattered across the entire boot is the best way to achieve that, with the trade-off being that some of the spikes could potentially fall off over time. Again, if you can't live with that, then don't buy the new Predators. But if you're willing to accept that this is something that is inevitably going to happen, I think you're really going to enjoy the new Preds. And honestly, it's one of those boots that I've just been so impressed with. I think we can fault brands for, and I hate this term, durability issues when there's a legitimate problem with the boot where there is a solution to that problem that's fairly obvious. In the case of the demon skin elements, they're glued onto the upper, and as far as I'm aware, there's really no other way to attach these spikes to the surface of the upper that they've gone for here. So given the circumstances of what this design is, I really don't think that Adidas has done anything wrong. Anyways, guys, that's it for this one. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to support it with a like. Now that you know the information that you know, if you are interested in any of the new Predator models, there will be links to the review pages on my website down below in the description of this video. Check out those links because you will find on those pages buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes to pick up any of the new Preds below their normal retail prices. If you have any questions or any experiences of your own regarding these new Preds, leave it down below in the comments. If you aren't subscribed to the channel already, make sure you hit that subscribe button along with the little bell notification so you get notified when the next new video goes live. You can find all my social media information linked down below in the description as well. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.